Hello guys, today we are showing you our ongoing project in which we are working on this AI. We are using in vector AI to develop our logic, in particular for this NPC. And in vector is providing AI FSM machine, so you can design your AI as much complicated as you want, because in this AI they provide you some predefined templates, so you can customize it or you can also build your own one. So in this case we are developing our own logic particular for the NPC. So let me show you and just play this scene so you can easily understand how this AI is working, right? So yeah. You can see this currently is just a walk street. So just walking here and there, then he just find some food. So he's going to eat and search this fruit, right? Like this tomato and all this thing. Like this no banana is not what I do. So he eat this bananas and all this thing. Now you can see the fox is coming. So once fox landed on the ground, he start running, right, and try to escape from these fox, right? And the gameplay like is we need to save our rabbit, right? So if we select this one, so we will discuss the enemy AI, fox AI later, but let's focus on this one. Like, so if I somehow if I can, if I'm able to kill these all three fox, because in mobile it's really easy one, but in a PC it's difficult to control this thing. So you can see, okay, so you can see this is like quite simple AI which we are using for Revit, and we have five different states for Revit. The first one is walking, and the second one is this running. Once fox is landed on the ground, so Revit is start running and try to escape from this fox. Okay, okay. So this is, as I mentioned, this is in vector AI, right? And the particular for designing for this logic, this gameplay, we use some other software to just make clear that how our NPCs work. And so, as per the gameplay, if there is no fox on the ground or no noise generated from the fox, in that case, Revit is just walk and find the fruits, and if for next 10 minutes there is no fox, so once he eat the fruit he went for the sleep for 5 seconds, you can say, or 10 seconds, and these all logics we define here, right? When he going for the sleep and when the sleep is end, and if any case or any particular scenario, if uh, uh, rabbit is sleeping and any fox is came or any fox is landed on the ground, the next stage will automatically trigger and we enter in the run state, right? In the running states, and again it is the loop, right? Once all fox are killed, then Revit again return to the walk, or you can say the idle state. So this is how we design our Revit NPC, right? And particular for this gameplay, this is our we have this rabbit which we need to save, and the fox came from the sky with the balloon. So if you kill fox in the air, right, in that case there is nothing happen for the rabbit logic. The rabbit just is in a normal walk state, or you can say the idle state, right? And the second thing, if enemy will damage NPC, or you can say the rabbit, so the player health automatically decrease. So you need to save this rabbit, otherwise once rabbit lost his all energy or all health, you will means you will also lose the game, and it's a game over condition, right? So this is a simple game which we are focusing for the you can say the for the kids, right? It's not a very complicated one, or the storytelling games. It's very simple one, and the particular we are focusing on the mobile device, particular for the very generic and toon style graphics, right? You can say. So even we have a grass with the wind effect, and this is not the direct text because, as you know, direct text is not supported in a mobile device, right? So we are using some different shader which for grass, and particular for the trees you can also see we are using very low resolution texture, and we also change the transparency of this leaf because once we use the transparency objects, our FPS is really decreased to 20 or 15 frame per second, right? So that's why we are using this very optimized asset for this particular for this game, right? And as you can see, this is one object, right? I will see like this one, right? Control check. And this is because we are bake this mesh in a one object, and we also bake texture in a one. So it will decrease the game size, it will decrease the batch count, and also give us some more FPS, particularly on the mobile device, right? And yes, one more thing, in this particular game style, we are using these set, which you maybe you aware of this particular character, which are very popular in the Unity asset store. So let me show you. These are the forest animal, right? So, and next step in our game, we are trying to configure this character in this game, but in a different scene because now we are focusing to develop the same logic with the sheep and with the this character, wolf character, right? So that one is the different scene, that one is the different chapter for this game. But yes, we are really want some good suggestion or good input from your side, which will help us to develop some interesting game, particular for the kids. So you can see we are trying to focus on the graphics quality. We are trying to focus on the toon characters and also the animation of the character. So this is our primary goal to develop this project. And the other part is this is not the complete one. This is very raw project, and you can say we only spent only 5 to 10 days during this COVID thing, right? So that's why we are in the middle of this project, and we are trying to gather the more suggestion, more input from the viewer, also from our game developer community, right? To develop more interesting logic in this particular game. And this is quite a small game because as you see there is only two state, right? Two NPC. One is the one this savior, and the second one is the enemy, right? And we are using in vector AI FSM, which I told you earlier, and also for the character is simple shooter, right? It's just a non-movable simple shooter, right? The third person one. So the thing is, okay, let me show you the whole setup of this scene, and particular for optimize this project we are using 3ds max for the ground and also couple of 3D object. We export it as a apx, right? And then we implement the texture from the from unity itself, right? So this is how we use this particular asset, right? As you can see, this is very far rock, so I just decrease the texture quality is really you can say very low resolution. It is, let me show you, it's like yeah, oh, 444 is, yeah, it's 256. So yeah, that's why and we already have a test session for this one with the, it's not a high-end mobile, but yeah, it's a medium-range mobile, and believe me, in mobile it's working very smooth, and we got a target FPS. It's not like we have a 120 FPS, but yes, we somehow we managed to receive around 55 or 60 FPS. and that's why we are planning to move ahead with this project. But yes, it's as you know, it's just like we are trying to figure out, means we are trying to develop some game for the kids which are look and feel is great. It's not like very we are trying to create a complicated one, but we are trying to create some look and feel game which is really interesting for the kids. And we have a reference image from the very popular cartoon is Winnie the Pooh. So we have a reference image from that cartoon from Google and trying to develop the scene. Um, it's not we can't say we succeed 100%, but yeah, maybe 10% we got a result from that reference image. Okay, so I will show you the next scene as well, which is also is not fully completed, but yes, mhm, so use this, yeah. In this second scene, one minute. Okay, yeah, this one. Yeah. So as you can see, we are using the same ground plane. It's nothing different, but we have some beautiful trees, which we are export from plant factory. If you are aware of this project, this software, let me show you. We have some. This is from Eon VUE publisher, right? Yeah, this one. And believe me, this is very highly optimized, and now they have a plugin to export directly in a Unity, so it's not like you need to export this thing from different software than Max or Maya or Blender and then import in Unity. They have seamless integration with Unity, so you just export your tree as you want, and there is an option to develop a billboard leaf or just like mesh leaf, anyone, anything, whatever you want, right? And this software is available, so and is very highly detailed, you can say the uh, tree designing software, right? So we are using this one particular for this setup, right? And we also not using leaf from plant factory, but we are using simple 3D object without any opacity or without any texture, you can say, just for to optimize the scene, and is particular for targeting the FPS, right? So if we are, when we playing this scene, it's also like this. Currently, we have only one this NPC and an enemy setup, so you can just find out the same thing. But in future session, we will also configure the new. But just add some comment in YouTube video so we can figure out if this is really worth to spend some time, right? And if you have some good suggestion about this gameplay, we will also implement these changes or new suggestion, right? But yes, we will discuss first and then we will finalize if we are going to implement these changes or new suggestion in our gameplay. Because as you can see, the first target of this game is just to optimize for the mobile device, because we are not targeting to develop something that is not uh, smoothly running on a mobile, right? So it's like we are very selective to for particular for the character and also for the asset. But as particular for AI logic, we can do whatever you want or whatever you suggest, which is really aligned with our game story, you can say, right? So let me show you the Fox one, right? So this is our enemy AI, and yeah, you can see I didn't change the actual name, which is came from from the inventor, but yes, we are changing the logic. You can say the this condition true and false things for following the rabbit or following the NPC, applying the damage, and that particular damage will redirect to a player. So this is how we are connecting all these three entity in our game. So basically, we have three entity. One is the player, second one the NPC, which is like a idle NPC. We need player need to save this NPC, and third one is the enemy. But currently we just have a one chapter of this game, that is a jungle one or forest one, which where we have the rabbit and the other enemy. But in the second chapter we are planning to implement the farm. So in farm we have a sheep or pig, and the enemy will be the Quito or maybe some wolf or some other, maybe the tiger, right? So, but yeah, we need some good suggestions, some interesting logic or some interesting story to develop that chapter. So that's why we are planning to come live with this video, with this project. If we have some good suggestion, we have some good input from your side, we will try to implement in a live session. So if you have some good idea about the AI, we will try to implement that logic in our AI in the live next session, right? So this is how we are planning to get progress on this particular project. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you, actually, okay, so this is a default health item, right? So this is the default one, but in our game we are using this thing for with the fruits, right? It's not like we are using the same health item, but we are using some spawner which spawn some different type of fruits. So once rabbit get that fruits, then the health will increase by 20 or 25, whatever we mention in the script, right? And this is how this game running in a cycle. For example, if fox will attack on a rabbit and some energy will lose, and that particular point of time, if we kill the enemy or a fox, so after 5 minute cooldown, rabbit will try to find some fruits, and if he gets some fruits, he will restore his energy. So this is how the circle is going on for this particular, you can say, the endless game, because currently we are not defining any bar on the number of enemies. So it's like an infinite loop. As long as you are playing this game, the fox will come in particular time differences, and you need to kill or save your rabbit, right? You need to kill the fox or save your rabbits. So this is how this endless gameplay will going on. And frankly, we are targeting audience for particular for this game is like 10 or 8 year kids. So it's like they are not means we are trying to get this endless game for with the good graphics and some funny sounds, funny animation, like sleep animation or the jump animation, running, chasing animation, right? So this is how we are planning, but yeah, we need some good input or session, because because of this corona and all this thing, the planning and coordination is really tough. So that's why we are come live with this project, and we are trying to gather different opinion, different suggestion, input from your side. So yeah, now we are closing this live session, and we are waiting for your response, for your suggestion, and we will came back with the different with the same project, but in a different with the different character setup and AI setup. Thanks for watching, and yeah, please follow us, subscribe our channel. Thank you.